Still not working. This is, I think, a very important point, and I think we need to have leadership in City Hall that really does bring everybody in the community together. I've spent a lot of time as a state legislator and as a city council member going around talking to people in the community to try and find out what their values are, to try and make sure that, I mean, there are all different points of view that people tell me about, but I think it's important that I know where people come from. As a state legislator, we deal with legislators from across the state, people of all different walks of life, all different value systems, both parties, and they all have different points of view. You don't get into the state legislature unless you have strong points of view. And so we have to, as legislators, figure out how we're going to work together. Now, twice I've been the vice chair of important legislative committees. And part of my role on that is to work with not just members on my side of the aisle, but Republicans as well. And one of the things you learn as a state legislator is that it's a lot easier to get legislation through, even if you're in the majority party. If you work with members of the other party, try and iron out what their concerns are. Hear them, listen to them. You're not always going to like what they have to say. You're not always going to agree with what they have to say, but you have to give. You have to be able to understand where people are coming from. Now, whether they are coming from an institutional place, such as if they're on the school board, or if they're coming from a different party, Democrat or Republican, you have to understand where they're coming from so that you can try and make a decision that reflects their values too. It's not always possible, and we're in politics, we're here to make decisions, but the important thing is you have to try. And it is best if you can have a decision that reflects the values of everybody, because then we as a community can go into the implementation of that decision really feeling good about what we've done. So that's how I would approach this process of decision making, the same way I approach my